a WikiVidi documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. Jim Harbaugh. James Joseph Harbaugh is an American football coach who is currently the head football coach of the University of Michigan Wolverines and is a former quarterback. He played college football at Michigan for coach Bo Schembechler from 1983 to 1986 and played in the National Football League for 14 seasons from 1987 to 2000. He then served as the head coach of the San Diego Toreros, the Stanford Cardinal, and the NFL's San Francisco 49ers. In 2015, Harbaugh returned to his alma mater, Michigan. Harbaugh was born in Toledo, Ohio. His father, Jack Harbaugh, was a football coach, and the family lived in Ohio, Kentucky, Iowa, Michigan, and California. He attended high school in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and Palo Alto, California, when his father was an assistant coach at Michigan and Stanford, respectively. After graduation from high school in Palo Alto in 1982, Harbaugh returned to Ann Arbor and enrolled at the University of Michigan and played quarterback for the Wolverines, starting for 3 seasons. As a fifth-year senior in 1986, he led Michigan to the 1987 Rose Bowl and was a Heisman Trophy finalist, finishing third. The Chicago Bears selected Harbaugh in the first round of the 1987 NFL Draft. He played 14 years as a quarterback in the NFL, with Chicago from 1987 to 1993, the Indianapolis Colts from 1994 to 1997, the Baltimore Ravens in 1998, and the San Diego Chargers in 1999 to 2000. He first became a regular starting quarterback in 1990 with Chicago. In 1995 with Indianapolis, he led the Colts to the AFC Championship game, was selected to the Pro Bowl and was honored as NFL Comeback Player of the Year. From 1994 to 2001, while still playing in the NFL, Harbaugh was an unpaid assistant coach at Western Kentucky University, where his father Jack was head coach. In 2002, he returned to the NFL as the quarterbacks coach for the Oakland Raiders. Harbaugh returned to the college ranks in 2004 as the head coach at the University of San Diego. After leading San Diego to consecutive Pioneer League championships in 2005 and 2006, he moved to Stanford in 2007, where he led the Cardinal to 2 bowl berths in 4 seasons, including the 2011 Orange Bowl. Immediately afterward, Harbaugh signed a 5-year deal as head coach of the NFL's San Francisco 49ers, where he led the team to the NFC Championship game in each of his first 3 seasons. He and his older brother, Baltimore Ravens coach John Harbaugh, became the first pair of brothers to serve as head coaches in NFL history. Their teams played in a Thanksgiving Classic game in 2011 and Super Bowl 47 on February 3, 2013. Early life. Born in Toledo, Ohio on December 23, 1963, Harbaugh is the son of Jacqueline M. Jackie and Jack Harbaugh. His mother is of half Sicilian and half Polish ancestry and his father has Irish and German ancestry. Both Jim and his brother John were born in Toledo, while his father was an assistant football coach at nearby Perrysburg High School in Perrysburg. During Harbaugh's childhood, the family moved frequently, as his father held assistant coaching positions at Morehead State, Bowling Green, Iowa, Michigan, Stanford, and Western Michigan. Harbaugh played for the Junior League Ann Arbor Packers and then for Tappan Junior High before moving on to Pioneer High School. When his father became defensive coordinator at Stanford, he transferred to Palo Alto High School, graduating in 1982. 1982 and 1983 seasons. In February 1982, Harbaugh committed to play football for Bo Schembechler's Michigan Wolverines football team. He came to Michigan with a high school reputation as a slick California passer. As a true freshman in 1982, Harbaugh, at age 18, and junior Dave Hall were backups to quarterback Steve Smith, who had broken Michigan's single-season record with 2,335 yards of total offense in 1981. In the 1982 season, Smith started all 12 games, and Hall handled the limited backup role. Even as Smith struggled, Coach Schembechler expressed a reluctance to play Harbaugh, saying, "To suddenly pull some freshmen out of the bag. I don't think you can do that in today's football." Harbaugh did not see any game action in 1982, registered no statistics, and retained 4 years of eligibility under the NCAA's redshirt rule. Harbaugh performed well in the annual spring game in April 1983, completing 10 of 15 passes for 116 yards. After the game, Coach Schembechler noted, "Harbaugh is a fresh talent who'll be all right. But he has a lot to learn." While Harbaugh was touted as the team's pass-oriented quarterback of the future, he spent the 1983 season as Michigan's number 3 quarterback behind Steve Smith and Dave Hall. Smith started 11 games, and Hall started 1 game, while Harbaugh completed 2 of 5 passes for 40 yards in limited action. Harbaugh completed his first pass for Michigan on November 5, 1983, in a 42-10 victory over Purdue. 1984 season. In the spring of 1984, Harbaugh was in a 3-way competition for Michigan's starting quarterback job. 3-year starter Steve Smith had graduated, and his backup, Dave Hall, was lost to a knee injury. The 1983 competition pitted Harbaugh against sophomores Chris Zerbrugge and Russ Rain. In April 1984, Schembechler said, "Harbaugh is coming along pretty well. He's having a pretty good spring. Zerbrugge has emerged as a good prospect. There's kind of a battle in there." In the 1984 spring game, Harbaugh impressed observers as he completed 17 of 26 passes for 161 yards and an interception. Schembechler said after the game, "We've been happy with Jim all spring. He's shown a lot of maturity." After spring practice, Schembechler announced his depth chart with Harbaugh as his number 1 quarterback. In his first collegiate start, Harbaugh led the Wolverines to a 22-14 upset victory over a Miami Hurricanes team that was led by Bernie Kosar, had won the 1983 national championship, and was ranked number 1 in both the AP and UPI polls. Harbaugh completed 11 of 21 passes for 162 yards and 2 interceptions. The Detroit Free Press praised Harbaugh for pinpoint passing that kept Miami's defense on the run. In his second start, the Wolverines lost to a Washington team that finished the season ranked number 2 in both the AP and UPI polls. Harbaugh threw a career-high 37 passes in the game, completing 17 passes for 183 yards, 3 interceptions, and his first collegiate touchdown pass to Vince Bean. After the loss to Washington, Harbaugh led Michigan to victories over Wisconsin and Indiana. Harbaugh completed 25 of 39 passes for 272 yards in those games. On October 6, 1984, a 19-7 loss to Michigan State in the 5th game of the season, Harbaugh sustained a badly broken left arm in the 3rd quarter when he dove for a loose ball and collided with Spartan linebacker Thomas Tyree. Harbaugh had to be carried from the field on a stretcher and missed the remainder of the season. Harbaugh completed 60 of 111 passes for 718 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions during his shortened 1984 season. 1985 season. By April 1985, Harbaugh's arm had healed, and he completed 10 of 16 passes for 146 yards in the annual spring game. Harbaugh was the starting quarterback in all 12 games for the 1985 Michigan Wolverines football team that compiled a 10-1-1 record, outscored opponents 342-98, defeated Nebraska in the 1986 Fiesta Bowl, and finished the season ranked number 2 in the final AP and UPI polls. On October 26, 1985, Harbaugh set a school record with 283 passing yards in a 42-15 victory over Indiana. After the game, Harbaugh was asked for his reaction to setting the school's passing record and responded, "Records are nice, but everything we do here is team-oriented. Everyone's telling me about the record, but they should tell it to Paul Jokic and Eric Kattis and John Kalesa. They caught the passes." On November 16, 1985, in a 48-7 victory over Minnesota, Harbaugh completed 13 of 18 passes for 243 yards and 3 touchdowns. After the game, Harbaugh praised the offensive line, noting, "I've never had more time to throw in my life. junior high, high school. Harbaugh's 13 completions against Minnesota gave him 123 for the season, breaking the school record of 118 set by Steve Smith in 1982. On November 23, 1985, Harbaugh led Michigan to a 27-17 victory over Ohio State. In the fourth quarter, Harbaugh completed a 77-yard touchdown pass to wide receiver John Kalesa, giving Michigan a 10-point lead with 9 minutes remaining. Coach Schembechler said after the game that the 77-yard touchdown was a play that took the starch right out of their sails. Columnist Mitch Albom wrote after the game that Harbaugh's pass to Kalesa was an image that would last. The image that repeats will be that of Jim Harbaugh dropping back in the fourth quarter and uncorking a soaring spiral that rose high and long as flanker John Kalesa ran underneath it, his steps seemingly in sync with the revolutions of the ball. So when it fell right into his arms, almost gently. Harbaugh completed 16 of 19 passes for 230 yards and 3 touchdowns. In the final 3 games of the 1985 regular season, Harbaugh completed 41 of 50 passes for 706 yards, 9 touchdowns, and no interceptions. For the season as a whole, he completed 145 of 227 passes for 1,976 yards, 18 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. He also led the nation with a 163.7 passing efficiency rating in 1985. 1986 season. In 1986, his final season at Michigan, Harbaugh started all 13 games at quarterback for the 1986 Michigan Wolverines football team that compiled an 11-2 record, lost to Arizona State in the 1987 Rose Bowl, and finished the season ranked number 8 in the final AP poll and number 7 in the final UPI poll. In the first game of the season, Harbaugh led Michigan to a 24-23 victory over Notre Dame. Harbaugh completed 15 of 23 passes for 239 yards and a touchdown. In the fourth game of the season, he broke his own Michigan school record with 310 passing yards in Skeem Beachler's 200th career victory. A 34-17 victory over Wisconsin. Harbaugh caused controversy when he guaranteed a victory over Ohio State in 1986. Harbaugh's guarantee proved valid as the Wolverines defeated the Buckeyes, 26-24. Harbaugh completed 19 of 29 passes with 2 interceptions. For the season, Harbaugh completed 180 of 277 passes for 2,729 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. His 2,729 passing yards set a Michigan season record that stood until 2002. He also finished second in the country in passing efficiency behind Heisman Trophy winner Vinny Testaverde. Harbaugh won numerous honors in 1986, including the following. Harbaugh finished his college career as Michigan's all-time record holder for passing yards with 5,449 yards. He also tallied 620 passing attempts, 387 completions, a 62.4% completion percentage, 31 touchdown passes, and 22 interceptions. He held the career NCAA Division I passing efficiency record for 12 years. Harbaugh earned a B.A. in Communications from Michigan's College of Literature, Science, and the Arts in 1986. 1987 season. The Chicago Bears selected Harbaugh in the first round of the 1987 NFL Draft. During the 1987 season, playing under head coach Mike Ditka, Harbaugh completed only 1 of 15 passes in an August 27 exhibition game against the Arizona Cardinals. During the regular season, he played in a reserve capacity in 6 games. On November 22, in a 30-10 win over the Detroit Lions, Harbaugh took only 1 snap and was sacked for 15 yards. On December 14, in a 41-0 loss to the San Francisco 49ers, Harbaugh threw his first NFL passes, completing 8 of 11 for 62 yards, was sacked 3 times for 30 yards, and rushed 15 yards on 3 carries. 1990 season. In 1990, Harbaugh played and started in the first 14 games of the season. Chicago improved to 11-5 and won the NFC Central Division, and Harbaugh passed for 2,178 yards with 180 of 312 passes completed for 10 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. He was sacked 31 times for 206 yards and rushed 321 yards in 51 carries. Due to a shoulder injury, Harbaugh sat out the last 2 games of the year as well as the playoffs. 1991 season. Harbaugh passed for a career-high 3,121 yards with Chicago in 1991 and became the first Chicago quarterback since Vince Evans to start all 16 regular season games. He completed 275 of 478 passes for 15 touchdowns and 16 interceptions, was sacked 24 times for a loss of 163 yards, and rushed 338 yards on 70 carries. Chicago finished the season 11-5 like the year before, but in second place in the NFC Central. On December 29, 1991, he made his postseason debut in the NFC wildcard game, a 17-13 loss to the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas defense overwhelmed him throughout the game, sacking him 3 times. And in the final drive of the game that started from Chicago's 4-yard line with 1:50 left, he threw an interception to Bill Bates on the 4th play from scrimmage. However, his franchise records for completions, attempts and yards per game in the 1991 postseason still stood. 1994 season. On April 7, 1994, Harbaugh signed with the Indianapolis Colts. He played and started in just 9 games in the 1994 Colts season, completing 125 of 202 passes for 1,440 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. Harbaugh took 17 sacks for 72 yards and rushed 223 yards over 39 carries. For the first 8 games, Harbaugh was starter, and coach Ted Marchibroda reinstated Harbaugh as starter for Week 15 after Indianapolis struggled on offense under quarterback Don Majkowski. 1995 season. In 1995, Harbaugh achieved career highs in completion percentage, passer rating, and touchdown passes and led Indianapolis to the AFC Championship game. Harbaugh played 15 games in the regular season and started 12. With a 7-5 record as starter for a 9-7 team, Harbaugh completed 200 of 314 passes for 2,575 yards and just 5 interceptions with his 17 touchdowns and was sacked 36 times for 219 yards. In 52 carries, Harbaugh rushed for 235 yards and 2 touchdowns. But he strained his right knee after being sacked 6 times and left the Week 14 game against the Carolina Panthers in the 3rd quarter. Indianapolis lost to defending AFC champion San Diego Chargers in Week 16 27-24. With John Carney kicking the winning field goal with 3 seconds left after Harbaugh's drive with 3 straight passes had led to Kerry Blanchard's field goal that tied the game at 24 with 48 seconds left. In the regular season finale on December 23, Harbaugh's 32nd birthday, Indianapolis clinched a playoff berth with a 10-7 win over the New England Patriots. Completing 20 of 30 passes, he threw for 225 yards and a touchdown. On December 31, 1995, in the AFC wildcard game against San Diego, Harbaugh scored on a 3-yard quarterback sneak in the 4th quarter after a 32-yard interception returned by Jason Belser and Indianapolis won 35-20. Indianapolis won the divisional round game on January 7, 1996 over the Kansas City Chiefs 10-7, despite only 112 passing yards from Harbaugh. In the AFC Championship game on January 14, Harbaugh completed 21 of 33 passes for 267 yards and a touchdown and rushed 29 yards on 6 carries. But Aaron Bailey dropped Harbaugh's last-second Hail Mary pass in the end zone, and the Pittsburgh Steelers won 2016 and went on to Super Bowl 30, which they lost to the Dallas Cowboys. For the season, he was voted to the Pro Bowl, was named Comeback Player of the Year and AFC Player of the Year, and was runner-up in the voting for NFL MVP. Baltimore Ravens, 1998. On February 14, 1998, The Indianapolis Colts traded Harbaugh to the Baltimore Ravens for third-round and fourth-round draft picks in the 1998 NFL Draft. With that trade, Harbaugh reunited with his former Colts coach Ted Marchibroda. During the 1998 season with Baltimore, Harbaugh played in 14 games and started 12, with a 5-7 record as starter in a 6-10 season for the Ravens. Harbaugh completed 164 of 293 passes for 1,839 yards, just his third season with fewer than 2,000 passing yards since 1989. He had 12 touchdowns and 11 interceptions in passing, was sacked 23 times for 145 yards, and rushed 172 yards on 40 carries. The Ravens opened a new stadium for 1998, Ravens Stadium at Camden Yards, starting the game in Week 1 and completing 4 of 7 passes for 33 yards. Harbaugh left during the second quarter after injuring a finger, and with backup Eric Zarin for Harbaugh, Baltimore lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers 2013. Baltimore won its next game 24-10 over the New York Jets on September 13. Harbaugh started and made 5 of 10 passes for 36 yards, but again left early and was replaced by Zaire due to injury. Coach Marchibroda again split quarterbacking duties in the following game on September 20, a 24-10 loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars, with Harbaugh starting and Zaire taking over during the second quarter. With 4 of 9 passes completed for 59 yards, Harbaugh led a drive for a Matt Stover first-quarter field goal. Harbaugh then sat out 2 games and played as Zaire's backup for weeks 7 and 8. Those 2 games had poor performances. Harbaugh completed none of 6 passes and had 1 3-yard rush in the Week 6 loss to Pittsburgh. Despite only 9 of 20 passes completed and 2 interceptions in the Week 7 28-10 loss to the Green Bay Packers, Harbaugh made his first passing touchdown as a Raven, a 46-yard pass to Jermaine Lewis in the fourth quarter. In the next game on Week 8, Harbaugh improved in his first full game, with 27 of 34 passes completed over 243 yards for 3 touchdowns and 1 interception and 57 rushing yards in 10 carries. In Week 9, with Baltimore winning 13-10 over the Oakland Raiders, Harbaugh got his first win in a full game started despite passing for only 102 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception. In the final 2 drives of the game, Harbaugh made crucial first-down conversion passes of a 28-yard pass to Jermaine Lewis and 10 and 11-yard passes to Michael Jackson. In Week 12, a 38-31 win over the Indianapolis Colts, Harbaugh had his first interception-free full game, with 16 for 25 passing over 198 yards for 2 touchdowns. It was the Colts' first trip back to Baltimore after the team left it for Indianapolis. In an emotional moment, Harbaugh presented Johnny Unitas with the game ball. Referee Ed Hockley called a controversial unnecessary roughness penalty against Joe Bowden in Baltimore's 16-14 loss to the Tennessee Oilers for his hit on Harbaugh on a 2nd and 24th play with Tennessee leading 14-13 after his 9-yard scramble towards the sideline, ruling that Harbaugh was in bounds when hit. On 3rd and 15th in the next series, however, Harbaugh was sacked and Baltimore was forced to punt, so the penalty didn't hurt the Oilers. Harbaugh completed 15 of 28 passes for 214 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception and rushed 22 yards over 5 carries. After a 3-game losing streak, Harbaugh won the final game of the season on December 27, 19-10 over the Detroit Lions with 17 of 26 passes completed for 141 yards and a touchdown. Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Would you like to know more?